Hello everybody, this is my GC1705 Massey Ferguson. I'll be doing my 50-hour service. Just wanted to invite everybody to go along, see what I learn, and maybe not make some of the mistakes I made. I'm going to try to make a tutorial here that will help everybody. Hope that I don't insult anyone's intelligence, but I'm kind of filming this for somebody that's never done any kind of maintenance before. On the tractor on the left side, when you go to change your oil, make sure that your engine oil is the operating temperature. That gets all the metal particles and everything that's in the engine flowing around, and that way when you drain the oil, it's suspended in the oil, and then you actually remove it from the engine. And that's pretty much any oil change, but especially important on the 50-hour. Alright, the engine oil filter is on the left side. I've already taken the liberty of loosening it and draining it. Make sure you put something up under the axle. There's really no clean way to do this. I don't like that. Some people, or some tractors, have a little spill guard where they'll actually pour the oil somewhere else. This just kind of drops it down all over the axle. For those die-hard, you got to put the tractor filter of the manufacturer back on it, Massey Ferguson filter. I did buy AGCO parts. There's the AGCO oil filter, and there's the AGCO part number, and here is the hydraulic filter. I don't know if I can focus in on it well enough or not, but just so you know, it didn't come with an AGCO filter. It come with the manufacturer's filter. I believe it's Iski. I think that's how you say that. I can't ever say it. Anyway, it's a good little motor, and it's nothing more than a standard oil filter made by Denso for the engine manufacturer. As you may or may not know, this tractor is pretty much the identical tractor as a Kubota on the underside. The transmission, a lot of the parts are totally interchangeable, including a lot of the filters. This has a I think it's called Iski or Isiki engine. I can't ever pronounce it. It doesn't really matter, but it's basically the same tractor as a Kubota in the, I'd say, the 23 series, maybe like the 2370 series. And the only difference is they put a little different body work on it, and they put a different engine in it. I think this engine is just as good. From everything I read, this engine is absolutely just as good as anyone that's out there. Alright, so now I've got my oil filter removed. I'm going to start changing the oil. First thing I'm going to do is put the oil pan under the drain plug and drain it. And now I'm putting, showing you where the oil pan drain plug is, right here. That is the oil pan drain plug. It is on my tractor a 19 millimeter. I'm assuming they're all the same, but I have no way of knowing for sure. One thing you can do is pop the dipstick out of the side, or you can loosen the oil fill plug on the top, and that'll cause the oil to rush out quicker and not have a vacuum inside the engine. Be careful, that oil should be pretty hot. I'm using Rotella 10W30 for my engine oil. According to the manual, this thing uses 2.7 quarts of engine oil. So seems a little light, but we'll check it out. Just for those who do not know, this is where you put your oil in. This little rubber cap pops out of my engine, and put a funnel in it. And for God's sake, please use a clean funnel. Well, I went ahead and filled the engine full of oil. I used Rotella 10W30 diesel oil, and the book said 2.7 quarts, and that put me somewhere around the halfway mark. I went ahead and filled it all the way up, which took me right about a little over 3 quarts, 3 full quarts of oil, and it's all the way up to the full mark on the dipstick. Went ahead and cleaned out this screen, which comes in and out. You have to do that while you're mowing. If you hadn't figured that out by now, you're probably overheating your engine. I have to change it. I have a 2.5 acre yard and a 60-inch belly mower for this, and during the mowing my yard, I have to stop and clean it out. I start to notice my temperature gauge rise just a little bit. Not really particularly pleased with that part, but it's part of it. So I stop and blow it out, clean it all up, and move on and do it every day, every time I use it. Here's the air filter. I've already checked it, but you just pop these loose and pull the air filter out. And when you check it, it's only got 50 hours on it, and it's basically brand new. So there's no need to do that. Other than giving it a bath, I'm going to wash the engine down and pressure wash it. Note to yourself, don't get real close on it with a high pressure washer. Stay back, and that will help it to not get into the little parts of the wires. Alright, I am looking at the underside of the tractor. As you can see, I have the belly mower off. That is your hydraulic filter. And then, as you can see, right down, that is your drain plug. It looks like you could take the skid plate off the bottom of the filter. This is very important right here, this plate. So don't take it off and leave it off. This keeps the filter from getting hit by rocks and other things. And I actually had one where a big rock, where I was moving it around with a bucket loader, and I forgot it was there, backed up on another tractor and damaged the oil filter. No permanent damage, but it was just enough to poke a hole in the filter. Okay, we're getting ready to put the transmission fluid back in. This is your hydraulic system. Everything, all hydraulics run off of the same Cummins hump. Here is the fill stick, or the fill hole, and this does not have a dipstick. It has a view sight. You can see as that gets full, it'll come up into that window right there. Alright, now we're starting on the front axle, and this little dust cover here, you got to remove this bolt on the dust cover. I've already loosened it. And don't lose it, it's real small. Slide this boot back. This shaft here travels ever so slightly in and out as the axle moves up and down. You got to clean it off. Take a little brake parts cleaner. Clean it off real good. Let it dry. And then what I use is a white lithium spray grease. I'll spray that, and do that every service. So it's not that big a deal, but this shaft moving in and out over a period of time causes a lot of wear, and this is a weak point in the tractor, especially for people that use the four-wheel drive almost continuous. Now that we're back onto the tractor, onto the front, this is your drain plug to your left side. This is your drain plug to your right side. I'll show you how I set it up. It makes it easier to drain, and you get most everything out. And turn the wheel ever so slightly, the steering wheel, and lets it drain really easily. Alright, here's the front axle. I'm getting ready to fill it full. This is the left side of the tractor. Wheels off, and it makes it so much easier to work with. Shows 4.2 quarts, so a little over a gallon. One other thing I forgot, on each axle on the top, when you're filling it back up, these ports right here need to be open. It lets the air come out, and it lets it the level of the oil equalize much quicker.